Well, hello everyone. So I'm here today with all of you to introduce you to IELTS course. So as you all may know, so it's International English Language Testing System. All right, so I'm here with you to introduce this test to all of you, and some of may have heard of it or some of may be new to this test. So I would just give you a brief introduction of the whole test, all right? Okay, so to begin with, so this test actually has 4 different skills: listening and reading, writing, and speaking. So let me introduce you, the listening part. So this basically has 40 questions, and also it's for 40 minutes, in fact. And also this listening part has 4 different sections. And this is going to be the first subtest that you're going to start with. All right, and next one is reading, which actually has 40 questions again. And it also is conducted for 60 minutes. And you will get 3 sections here in reading part, which you have to answer within the 60 minutes time. All right, so the next one is writing here. So writing section has 2 different parts on the day of the test, and this actually is conducted for 60 minutes here. All right, and speaking is the last part that you're going to attend, which may be on the same day or mostly on a different day. It actually has 3 different parts, and also the timing which is given here is between 11 to 14 minutes, in fact. All right, so this is the overview of the whole test. All right, the total duration of the test is about 3 hours approximately. All right, so now let's go in detail with each of these skills. So first of all, let's start with listening part here. So let's see, how does the section 1 look like? So it actually has 10 questions in it, and always you will have fill in the blanks as the type of the question. And also each of these questions carry 1 mark. Okay. So the level of difficulty is the easiest of all the sections here. So this is how it looks like, something. So let me just show you a sample tape.
IELTS 15. Published by Cambridge University Press and Cambridge Assessment English 2020. This recording is copyright. Test 1. This is the IELTS listening test.
So this way, so you're going to listen to the tape and you would answer these questions. All right. So now let's move on to section 2 of listening part. So here also you will have 10 different questions, in fact, and you have different types here. So you have MCQs, multiple choice questions, you have fill in the blanks, you have match the information, these type of questions. All right, and you have 1 mark for each of these questions here. And the level of difficulty is moderately difficult compared to section 1. In fact,
Part 2.
How it looks like.
You will hear a woman giving a presentation about a holiday on an island in Britain that her company organizes. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14.
Well, so this way, you will be given some time before each of the sections starts. And you will have to answer all these questions while the tape is on. All right, now let's see how section 3 looks like. So here also you have 10 questions, and you have multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks, and match the information questions. All right, so here you have 1 mark again for each of these questions. Okay, so the level of difficulty is a bit higher compared to section 1 and 2. Yeah, let's see.
Part 3. You will hear 2 psychology students discussing the effects of the order in which the children in a family are born. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
Well, so this way, so you would have different kinds of questions and you would have to answer these questions here while listening to the tape. All right, let's move on to the
Part
last
3.
section.
You will hear two
That is part 4. So here again, you have 10 different questions and mostly you will have fill in the blanks as the type of the questions here. All right, and this one also, as usual, carries 1 mark each. And the level of difficulty is most here, all right? And that sums up to the 4 different sections of listening, basically. So let's hear a sample tape for section 4.
Part 4. You will hear a student giving a presentation about a type of tree known as the eucalyptus, which is common in Australia. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Well, so it's like this, okay? So that's going to be your first sub-test on the day of exam. That is listening.
Part 4. You will hear.
So after this, you basically have the next skill, that is the reading part. So here as well, so you're going to have 3 different sections and you're going to have different passages here in different sections. So usually in general IELTS, so you have 2 sections, okay, which are moderately difficult initially, and each of these sections have 2 different passages, all right? And section 3 has 1 full passage. So total, you have 5 different passages here, like that. And you have different kinds of questions, that is MCQs, that is multiple choice questions, and you have fill in the blanks, you have match the information kind of questions, you have match the heading kind of questions, and you also have true, false, and not given, all right? So you have these different kinds of questions here. And each of these questions carry 1 mark, like that. So the level of difficulty is easy to difficult here, where section 1 is the easiest of all, and whereas section 3 is the most difficult, like that. Whereas IELTS academic is slightly different, where you have the number of passages as 3, and you have different set of passages there, which are mostly academic and suited to university campus English that we commonly use academically. All right, let's see a sample passage here. So in the regular classes, I'm going to give you an overview and a detailed strategy which is needed in order to crack the test. However, now let's focus on the overview alone. All right, so let's see the type of questions in detail. Let's see how they look like, each one of them. Right, this is how they look like, where you have true, false, and not given, and you have fill in the blanks, and you have MCQs, that is multiple choice questions, and you have match the information as well. Okay, so all these types of questions that we have in a reading section. All right, next one is a writing, in fact. So writing section actually is of 2 different types. One is academic and the other one is general. So let me just brief you with general first. So it has 2 different parts, whereas part 1 is basically letter writing, where you have to write a letter in about 150 words minimum, all right? And part 2 is essay writing, which is common for both academic and general. And here you have to write a minimum of 250 words, in fact. All right, and the overall duration for writing is 60 minutes, in fact. All right, so here, this is how it looks like, a sample topic that you have here for task 1, general, that is letter writing, and task 2, that is essay writing. All right, so we will discuss about the types of these letters and essays in detail in the further classes. All right, let's see how does IELTS academic writing looks like. So here basically have descriptive writing where you will be given a pie chart or a bar chart or a line graph or maybe an image. All right, so as usual for part 2 you have an essay writing, which is again of 250 words minimum, and you again have the same time, that is 60 minutes. Yeah. So here's a sample of task 1 writing academic. All right. So that's how it is. So that sums up the writing parts basically. So now the next one is speaking, in fact. So speaking has 3 different parts, in fact. So part 1 is actually about interaction, where the examiner is going to ask you questions about everyday topics. It could be people, culture, place, hobbies, dresses, shopping, these kind of things. So part 2 is basically a presentation where you'll be given a cue card and you are going to talk about the topic on the cue card for 2 minutes time. So you'll be given 1 minute time to prepare yourself. All right. So that's part 2. And part 3 is basically a discussion on the questions based on the topic of part 2. All right. So here is how it looks like. So let me show you a sample here. And meanwhile, the overall speaking test takes place between you and the examiner. It's 1-to-1, and the overall duration is between 11 to 14 minutes. What kinds of emails do you receive about your work or studies? Answer. Well, I receive different kinds of emails about my work as I'm working in an MNC. And I usually receive the emails about my daily schedule as well as the briefing that my boss has given to me, and also the kind of works that I've accomplished for the week or maybe for the day as well. And also I receive another kinds of emails about my work, that is the promotional activities that have been conducted by my company. Well, that's how the responses are going to be. So that was just a sample. So I'm going to guide you through these answers in our daily lessons. All right. So that's the overview of the whole test, in fact. All right. So for more details and more information about IELTS test and how to crack it and what are the strategies that we need to adopt in order to successfully clear this, so please follow us on the given links on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. We're everywhere. All right, so I'm going to help you to achieve your target score. All right, thank you very much for your time. All right, so keep in touch through our website as well. That is www.akankshaelearningcourse.com. All right, see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.